What's up, you guys? Cameron Cornish here, your #1 real estate agent in St. George. First and foremost, make sure you guys like and subscribe to my channel. You know, there's a saying that says health is wealth. And one of the first things that we noticed when we moved here was really just how active so many people are, between the amount of recreational activities like hiking and biking and even golfing to the countless amount of opportunities there are for sports, not just for our kids, but even for adults. We realized that the healthy lifestyle way of living was important to people here in Southern Utah, which really became another quality that really attracted us here to St. George. And in today's video, I'm going to be highlighting some of those things and talking about the healthy lifestyle way of living here. I hope you enjoyed this video. This is Living in STG. So as I think about activities that happen out here in St. George, the first one that comes to mind is the Ironman that happens every single year here. And it's just an awesome event that goes on. Last year in 2023, they actually held the North American Championships. So it was really cool to see everyone get prepared for that. And you see people training for this event pretty much all throughout the year, just preparing for this single moment. And it definitely helps that there's such beautiful landscapes everywhere here in Southern Utah, because it just makes, you know, training for this thing and actually doing it that much easier when you're running your guts out. You know, another big thing is pickleball. There's a ton of people that play pickleball out here, especially a lot of the elderly people. And you're going to see pickleball courts in a lot of the communities out here. And it's so awesome too, because even like the retirement communities here, they actually label themselves the unretirement community. They just stay so active, and I love seeing that out here. Rock climbing is another big thing that people are into out here, right? I never got into it just because of my fear of heights, but it seems like people that are born and raised out here are definitely into it and know what they're doing. Mountain biking is another big one. You know, when I first moved out here, I said, you know, if I am going to tell people I live in St. George, the first thing I got to do is buy a mountain bike so I can fit in. This is a really cool park over in Santa Clara called Rattlesnake Park, and I used to take my kids here all the time. They loved it. We made a lot of great memories. But these are just some of the activities that people do to really stay active around here as well. And, you know, sports for kids. That's a whole nother thing out here that happens in St. George, and a ton of people are into it. And I would even say, coming from Las Vegas, St. George is very competitive as far as kids sports goes. Everything from tumbling to tennis to baseball. They have a ton of baseball tournaments every single year out here with a lot of the baseball fields. And just Parks and Recs offers so much to do as far as athletics goes for your kids. And I'm a big believer in that. I think it teaches a kid a lot when it comes to just life in general. I think it's very important that you get your kids in sports, because they're going to learn how to work together as a team and how to push through tough times, all that kind of fun stuff. So I love the fact that St. George is so focused on that. And it even gets more competitive at a high school level. So speaking of that, I'm going to take you guys over to Utah Prep Academy, which is a brand new boarding school that we have here to Southern Utah. And they're very focused on sports. They actually have a national ranked basketball team. So I'm going to take you guys over for a quick interview. Let's check it out. All right, you guys, here we are at Utah Prep Academy over in Hurricane, Utah. And joining me today is actually a longtime friend of mine, LJ Yamzon. Him and I actually go way back to high school. We played basketball together over in Las Vegas. And after I graduated, he was a couple years younger than me, but he went on and broke a bunch of records in Nevada, went to BYU Hawaii, killed it out there. And now he's actually the head basketball coach of Utah Prep Academy here in Hurricane. So I appreciate you doing the interview with us, man.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, so talk to us a little bit, man. I mean, tell us about Utah Prep and why it's such an exciting thing to have out here in Southern Utah.
Yeah, man. So Utah Prep is a academy, and we are a great opportunity for student athletes.
Awesome.
First and foremost, we are a school, and then on top of that, we are a high-level national elite program on the basketball side, and soon here we'll be adding some other sports.
Right on, man.
We're super excited to be here.
Heck yeah, that's awesome. And on that topic of sports, tell us a little bit, I guess just in your opinion, man, like what is the culture of sports like here in St. George?
It's so fun. Like St. George is so vibrant. They're passionate about their sports. It's really community oriented.
Yeah.
Everybody here is just super active.
Yeah. I know something really exciting just happened here at Utah Prep. You guys were actually able to recruit the #1 ranked recruit in the entire country, right? AJ DeBonsa. And I know he's going to do a great job here. But how did you guys do that, man? Talk to us a little bit about that.
First of all, we're super excited to have him.
Yeah.
But I just have a great admin staff and a bunch of good assistant coaches. But No, we were able to build a relationship with him and his family, and we were able to offer him a great experience for his senior year, and hopefully it's unlike any other in the country.
Awesome. So cool. And do you feel like having, a recruit like him here in St. George, do you feel like that's going to just increase competition and even opportunities for future athletes?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, anytime you get a player of his caliber, he's going to elevate the profile of our program and for the athletes to come behind him. But he's joining a team of, really talented 4-stars that we have returning from last year in JJ Vandequit and Anthony Falesi. And then we have some local kids, John Southwick and a couple other pieces that are coming in. So we're super excited, and awesome. I think we're going to have a really good team next year.
Cool. And, talk to us too about the school, because it is a boarding school. So it's a little bit different than most high schools.
Yeah.
This is 9 through 12, unlike most high schools out here that are only 10 through 12, right?
Yep.
But it's a boarding school, which means they live on site, right? So tell us a little bit about that dynamic. I know you're recruiting people nationally as well, so tell us a little bit about that.
So we're able to have kids from all over the world come in. We offer visas, and we offer all the accommodations on one campus. So these kids are eating here, sleeping here, going to school, training, hitting the weight room, and it's all on campus and it's all accessible.
Cool.
And they're supervised at all times because they're still high school kids, man. You know how it is. But no, we have really good kids, and they're from all over the world, and we love that.
That's cool. I love that. Now, I know other than basketball, there's some other sports coming to Utah Prep as well. What other things are you guys going to be doing in the future?
I think it's going to be in phases, but for this next year, we're adding girls basketball and golf.
Got it. Okay, that's going to be cool. Awesome. And if someone wants to get some more info in their hands about Utah Prep, talk to us a little bit about that.
Just check out utahprep.com. All of the contact information is on there. We'd love to have you out for a tour and get you on campus, or give us a phone call, and we'll get you set up.
Awesome. Love it. Cool, you guys. Cool. Appreciate it, bro.
Thanks.
All right, you guys, next up, I'm going to take you to Summit Athletic Club. There's actually 3 locations here in St. George, but it's actually the gym that I subscribe to. So I'm going to give you guys a quick tour of this one. This is the Summit over in Santa Clara. It's the newest one that they just built about a year ago. So all the equipment is like brand new. Something that Summit does, which is really cool, is they're always having these classes going on. So they have like a cardio pickleball class they do, and a spin class, an aquaflex class. They even have this really cool thing where they're having like yoga on paddle boards over at Quail Creek Reservoir, right? They're just doing all types of cool stuff. So I really love that. If you want to join any kind of classes, you can definitely go ahead and do that. But prices really aren't that bad either. To get a membership here at Summit, I believe I pay like $40 a month for my membership, and that gives me access to just about everything in these gyms, and also all the amenities included as well. So that's pretty cool. Another awesome thing is they also have like a recovery lounge in there. So if you want to hook up to an IV, do some recovery stuff, some supplements, you can do that as well. Speaking of that, actually, the next people I want to introduce you to, I think you guys are going to really like. And if you live in St. George, or you're moving to St. George, I really want to encourage you to use their services, because I just did it recently and it's made a world of a difference in my energy and my health. So if you're looking for a way to maximize your energy, I definitely recommend these guys. Let's go have a talk with them and find out what they're all about. All right, you guys. Hey, thank you so much for joining us today. I got Dustin Magoffin, a good friend of mine, and Dr. Jones up in Payson, Utah with Vita Wellness. And I just wanted to have them to come on and really talk about what they're doing. Just about a week ago, Dustin came to my house and actually drew mine and my wife's blood. It was really awesome, you guys. I mean, they spun it right in front of us. Like the next day, I got a call from Dr. Jones, and he broke down everything for us. What we're deficient in and what supplements that we need to take. And, we want to really make sure we feel our best and have the most energy and be at top tier health. And so obviously we're on this topic of health, and I wanted to have them on, talk a little bit about what they're doing. So again, Dr. Jones, Dustin, thank you guys so much for being on. I appreciate you guys.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
No problem.
Hey, my first question for you real fast is if you guys could just tell us a little bit about what you guys really specialize in and what your guys' plans are to be able to service people down here in the St. George area. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so we started up Vita Wellness a little over 2 years ago with a focus more on health promotion and disease prevention. But we wanted to come up with a little bit more than what the conventional model says about that area of medicine. And we focused more on hormone therapy, IV nutritional therapy, weight management, and then we've gotten into a lot of other things like peptides, as well as stem cell therapies.
Awesome. Just about, I know you guys are up in Payson, but your goal is to be opening a clinic down here in St. George here soon. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yeah, we're actually looking at opening up with a chiropractor down there. His name's Dr. Cipriano and Dr. Newman.
Got it. Okay, we're excited about that. First question for you, Dr. Jones. I want to kind of know your opinion about this because there's so many myths out there that we hear online, social media, and really, I believe, pushed by the government. But what would you say, in your opinion, is like the number one myth that you hear about when it comes to just general health?
The number one myth that I hear is that you don't need testosterone, or that your testosterone only needs to be at a certain level. That's what we hear all the time from our patients. We hear it from conventional medicine. We hear it in the news. We hear it from all the government authorities out there that are supposed to help us with our health. And it is one of the biggest myths.
Got it. Cool. And same topic, same question. But what about overall nutrition? What's the biggest myth that you hear about nutrition?
One of the biggest myths that we hear about nutrition is that you should eat lots of grains and lots of carbohydrates and processed foods that actually wreak havoc on your health.
You tell me that the pyramid they taught me wasn't right? Is that what you're telling me?
The pyramid is actually not correct. We really should try to avoid eating too many grains and too much wheat. But yeah, that's not what we were told. If you go back to 1992, I believe, is when that food pyramid came out. And it's probably when we actually were growing up being told, yeah, eat lots of breads, lots of cereals, lots of these processed foods, and told that they were good for us, but really they're not.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's good to know. And it's good to have a doctor actually say that to you, right? Because if you go to most doctors nowadays, they'll tell you to still follow that pyramid, which is crazy to me. But Dr. Jones, if somebody came to you and said, hey, I want to get on this journey of feeling my absolute best, having the most energy possible, what would that process look like, from beginning to end? Walk us through that dynamic and tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so most patients, they come into us with either chronic diseases, or they have problems with fatigue, low energy. They'll have some depression, anxiety, maybe have a difficulty remembering things, or they just can't get themselves to go to the gym and get really good workouts. Maybe their sex life hasn't been so great. But oftentimes what we find, because we do try to take a holistic approach, we find that they've got things going on in their gut. They may have some improper diet habits, so they probably aren't sleeping well, and usually they have a lot more stress in their lives. They just don't have an easy time being able to balance. But one of the main things is that they bring with them a lot of these myths that we're talking about, that the types of foods that they're eating are not as good as they thought they were for them, or that they were told by their doctor their testosterone is fine when really it's not, and it's actually kind of one of the causes for their symptoms. And so these patients, they come in, and we like to have them fill out questionnaires to kind of get a little gauge of where they're at. But more importantly, it's good to get some blood work done on these patients, and maybe do a little health history on them and find out what's going on with them and what kind of services we have that could help them on their journey to health.
Last question for you, Dr. Jones. If somebody wants to get some more information and actually start this journey, where do they start? Talk to us a little bit about that.
So we're operating out of King Healthcare Chiropractic in Payson, as well as Spanish Fork. In Payson, the address is 865 South 500 West, and the phone number is 801-465-4999. Currently, we want patients to be making appointments, but like we've talked about, we have a clinic down in St. George that we're working at. It's called Wellspring Clinic. It's Dr. Cipriano and Dr. Newman are the chiropractors there. We do that one by appointment only, so if patients contact that phone number, we can make appointments and get down there and see them. We also have one up in Pleasant Grove with Utah Valley Chiropractic with Dr. Lowry and Dr. Bingham. And then we're also looking at Campbell Clinic up in Murray off of 7200.
And Dr. Jones, Dustin Magoffin over at Vita Wellness. I want to thank you guys for hopping on with us today, and just want to encourage everybody, reach out to these guys, get some blood work done, and get on that journey of feeling your best. Again, you guys, thanks for hopping on. Appreciate you.
Thanks, Cameron.
Thank you.
We'll see you.
Bye. All right, you guys. Well, there you have it. Hopefully you guys learned a ton in this video, and it inspired you also to want to live a healthy lifestyle and feel your absolute best. Because again, like I said in the beginning of the video, that really is the culture here in St. George, and that's a good thing to be a part of. So do me a favor, you guys, like and subscribe to my channel. If you have any questions real estate related, don't hesitate to reach out to me via email or even text me or give me a phone call. Either one works. I'd love to link up with you, learn more about your journey, what you're looking for, and how I can assist you in that. I'll see you guys in the next video. God bless.